They finally came up with a good with the story. I read it and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great. And as I read it, I read about the character that Ryan.
It's Ryan.
Hello, YouTube. Buckle up as we dive into the high-flying lifestyle and staggering earnings of the one and only Harrison Ford. If you're a fan of Indiana Jones, Han Solo, or just plain fascinating success stories, you're in for a treat. We'll also share some not-so-nice news from Harrison's personal life. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more jaw-dropping celebrity deep dives. Now let's get started. All right, folks, you might be wondering, where does this Hollywood legend spend his hard-earned cash? Let's talk about his hobbies and interests. First off, let's talk about his love for aviation. Harrison Ford is a licensed pilot and owns several aircraft. He's got a vintage Waco taper wing, a de Havilland Canada DHC-2 Beaver, and even a Bell 407 helicopter. Flying isn't just a hobby for him, it's a passion. He's been known to lend a helping hand in search and rescue missions, and even gave flying lessons to his Star Wars co-star Mark Hamill. Now, if you thought his love for adventure ended in the skies, think again. Harrison Ford is also an avid outdoorsman. He enjoys hiking, fishing, and river rafting. He's been spotted numerous times exploring the great outdoors, often with his family by his side. It's clear that his love for nature and adventure isn't just reserved for his Indiana Jones character. But it's not all adrenaline and thrills for this actor. Harrison Ford is also a bit of a creative at heart. He's got a soft spot for woodworking and has been known to spend hours in his workshop crafting everything from furniture to entire sets for his children's school plays. It's a hands-on hobby that allows him to express his creativity in a tangible way. And let's not forget about his love for archaeology, a passion that clearly inspired his iconic role as Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford has been known to support and participate in archaeological projects around the world. He's not just interested in playing an archaeologist on screen, but also in preserving and understanding our shared human history. Lastly, Harrison Ford is also an advocate for environmental causes. He's been known to donate his time and money to organizations like Conservation International. It's clear that he's not just interested in enjoying the great outdoors, but also in preserving them for future generations. Well, let's talk about Harrison's personal life, as well as the latest news about his wife. First off, let's talk family. Harrison Ford was born in Chicago in 1942 to Christopher Ford, an advertising executive, and Dorothy, a former radio actress. He's got a younger brother named Terrence, who's also made a name for himself in the film industry. Growing up, Ford was a bit of a loner and was even bullied in school. But hey, look who's laughing now, right? Now let's get into his romantic life. Ford's been married 3 times. His first marriage was to Mary Marquardt in 1964. They had 2 sons together, Benjamin and Willard, before calling it quits in 1979. Fun fact, Benjamin is a chef and owns a restaurant in LA, while Willard is a clothing designer. After his first divorce, Ford didn't waste much time moving on. He married his second wife, screenwriter Melissa Matheson, in 1983. They had 2 children together, Malcolm and Georgia. Sadly, this marriage also ended in divorce in 2004. But hey, Hollywood marriages aren't always easy, right? But don't you worry, folks, Ford found love again. In 2010, he married actress Callista Flockhart, whom he met at the 2002 Golden Globe Awards. They adopted a son together, Liam. It just goes to show that love can find you at any age. Ford's also known for being a great dad. He's always been very involved in his kids' lives and has even worked alongside some of them. His son Ben has worked as a chef on some of his film sets, and his daughter Georgia played a young Indiana Jones in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. How cool is that? But it's not all sunshine and roses. Ford's had his share of personal struggles too. He's dealt with alcoholism in the past and has even spoken openly about it. But he's a fighter, and he's been sober for years now. But even there, the problems of this legendary actor did not end. You know, life isn't always happy moments and success stories. Sometimes we have to face loss and sadness. And that's what happened to Harrison Ford when his former wife, Melissa Matheson, passed away. Melissa Matheson, a renowned screenwriter known for her incredible work on films like E.T. the Extraterrestrial and The Black Stallion, was married to Harrison Ford for 21 years. They had 2 children together, Malcolm and Georgia, and shared a significant part of their lives with each other. Even after their divorce in 2004, they remained connected through their children and their shared history. In November 2015, the tragic news broke that Melissa had passed away at the age of 65 due to neuroendocrine cancer. It was a devastating loss for her family, her friends, and the film industry as a whole. Harrison Ford, despite being divorced from Melissa for over a decade, was deeply affected by her passing. In a statement, Ford expressed his profound sadness, saying, "We were very lucky to have her in our lives. She lives on through her incredible body of work and her spirit." It's clear that even though they were no longer together, the love and respect he had for her never faded. Ford has been known to visit Melissa's grave regularly, paying tribute to the fact that she was a significant part of his life. It's a touching reminder that love and respect can outlast any relationship, and that the people who have been important to us will always hold a special place in our hearts. Melissa Matheson's legacy lives on through her incredible body of work and the impact she had on those around her. Her passing was a stark reminder that life is precious and that we should cherish the time we have with our loved ones. But let's take our minds off the sad news and talk about the financial side of Harrison Ford. First things first, Harrison Ford is one of Hollywood's highest-paid actors, and he's been in the game for a long time. Born in 1942, he didn't just stumble into fame and fortune. He worked his way up, doing a lot of carpentry work in his early days to support his acting dreams. But when he finally hit it big, he hit it really big. His breakthrough role came in the form of Han Solo in the original Star Wars trilogy. You know, the scruffy-looking nerf herder who became a fan favorite? That role catapulted him to stardom and started his journey to becoming a multimillionaire. But Star Wars was just the beginning. Ford went on to star in iconic films like the Indiana Jones series, Blade Runner, The Fugitive, and Air Force One, among many others. And with each of these films, his paychecks just kept getting bigger. For instance, he earned a whopping $20 million for his role in the 1997 film Air Force One. That's right, $20 million for one movie. But it's not just his acting gigs that bring in the dough. Ford is also a producer and has worked on several projects behind the scenes. Plus, he's done a fair share of voice acting work, narrating documentaries, and even lending his voice to video games. Now, let's talk numbers. As of today, Harrison Ford's net worth is estimated to be around $300 million. Yes, you heard that right. $300 million. That's more than the GDP of some small countries. And with the upcoming Captain America: Brave New World film, you can bet that number is only going to grow. From humble beginnings to Hollywood royalty, Ford has certainly made a name for himself and a massive fortune to boot. I think it's a good time to talk about Harrison Ford's real estate portfolio. First off, let's jet over to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This is where Harrison Ford calls home most of the time. He's got a stunning 800-acre ranch there, which is not just a place to kick back and relax, but also a working ranch where they raise cattle. Can you imagine Indiana Jones on a horse, rounding up cattle? I mean, talk about a movie scene come to life. He's been quoted saying that he loves the simplicity and solitude of life in Wyoming. Plus, he's an avid pilot, and Jackson Hole just happens to have its own airport, perfect for a guy who loves to fly. But Wyoming isn't the only place Harrison Ford has set up shop. Let's head over to the Big Apple, New York City. He and his wife, Callista Flockhart, own a beautiful penthouse in the trendy Chelsea neighborhood. This place is no small potatoes. It's a sprawling 5,000 square feet, with stunning views of the city. It's the perfect spot for when they want to trade in the quiet life for some city buzz. And of course, we can't forget Los Angeles, the heart of Hollywood. Harrison Ford owns a gorgeous mansion in the posh Brentwood neighborhood. This place is a stunner, with lush gardens and a pool, perfect for those California summers. It's a great spot for when he's in town for work or just wants to catch up with old Hollywood pals. From the rugged simplicity of Wyoming to the bustling streets of New York City and the glamour of Los Angeles, Harrison Ford's real estate portfolio is as diverse and impressive as his film career. But no matter where he is, we know he's living life to the fullest, always ready for the next adventure. At the very beginning of the video, we talked about Harrison's interests, but we forgot to mention that he really enjoys collecting cars. Let's take a look. First up, let's talk about his love for classic cars. Harrison Ford has been spotted numerous times cruising around in a gorgeous 1955 Jaguar XK 140. This beauty is a stunning example of British craftsmanship, and it's clear that Ford has a soft spot for vintage rides. But his collection doesn't stop at classics. He's also got a thing for modern muscle. He's been seen behind the wheel of a sleek Tesla Model S, proving that he appreciates both the old and the new. As we mentioned, Ford is not only passionate about cars, but aviation as well. His airplane collection is impressive to say the least. He owns several planes, including a de Havilland Canada DHC-2 Beaver and a Cessna 182. But perhaps his most famous aviation adventure was when he safely landed his vintage World War II training plane on a golf course after experiencing engine failure. Talk about keeping a cool head under pressure. But let's get back to the roads. Harrison Ford has also been known to ride on two wheels. He's been spotted on a variety of motorcycles, including a Harley-Davidson and a Triumph. Whether he's cruising down the highway or navigating the busy streets of LA, Ford clearly enjoys the freedom that comes with riding a motorcycle. And here's a fun fact for you. Harrison Ford's love for vehicles even extends to his film roles. Remember the iconic Ford Thunderbird convertible that he drove in American Graffiti? That car played a significant role in launching his career. And who could forget the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars? Okay, so it's not exactly a car, but it's definitely one of the most famous spaceships in cinema history. Whether he's flying high in the sky or cruising down the open road, it's clear that this Hollywood legend has a serious need for speed. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching it with us, but hey, don't stop now. We've got more awesome videos for you to check out.